Hey, appreciate you guys joining me here from YouTube, Skool, Instagram, and Facebook. So forgive me wherever I'm looking, okay? Not intentional, just trying to give a little bit of everybody some eye contact, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it on this Wellness Wednesday. Appreciate you being here. All right, so not long ago, I was invited to be a guest speaker at a wellness rally, I guess you could say it was. And the topic for myself was emotional eating. So, like any good speaker, of course, you want to start by warming up the crowd, making sure that we're all on the same page because not everybody understands or realizes that there's a such thing as emotional eating, right? So, we talked, we laughed, we cried, even all of that good stuff. But reflecting on some of the things that I shared on what I thought were my top three takeaways on what I did personally to help me improve my relationship with food. So I'll be honest with you guys that my journey, to get where I am now, it took nearly 10 years or so. So, of course, I'm not going to take my, listeners to that up and down journey, and I just want to get right into some of the things that actually helped. And so I legit gave that information. And then my cousin comes up to me later and was like, yo, that was one of the most interesting workshops I've ever been a part of. I didn't want to fall asleep. I was actively engaged, all of those things. But can you tell me your real true secrets of what you did to help you stop craving some of those foods that we grew up on? And I was like, what do you mean? What were my real secrets? Like, I legit told everybody. So there's nothing else left to give. And she was like, no, no, like for real, give me your for real secrets. And I'm like, was my mic not on? That is what I did. And so I thought about it a few times later on that night. And basically, what I really heard was her saying, you know what? I don't I need a pill. Okay. I need a pill, something quick, something fast because I'm not feeling good right now. And I was like, you know what? I don't have that for you. So anybody listening for a quick, fast relief on how to feel better immediately, you didn't get to where you are immediately. So it's going to take some time to rewire and for your brain and your body to get used to being healthier. So give your body and your brain the same respect on the time that it took for you to get to where you are not feeling well and also to reverse those challenges because taking a pill is just covering up what's really going on. But what I also heard her say was that I need relief right now. And that I can give you. I don't have a pill to give you, but I can give you some relief to let you know that there is something that you can do right now to give yourself and give your body and make it feel like it can be whole again. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, as far as like small little environmental changes that you can make to help you reach your goals in a small little way and you don't even feel like you're making major changes because what we're talking about is that people just take on way too much too quickly, and that's why they end up failing reaching their goals because the brain is like, whoa, danger, danger, this is way too much. I can't do all of this. So let's just go back to the couch and let's just scroll on social media because that's comfortable and that is what we're going to do because all this other stuff you're talking about, way too much. Okay. So that's the thing. I'm glad you're here talking about motivation and willpower and all those kind of things. Those things are very temporary. Those things are very temporary and they're gonna fade. You can use those tools to kind of get you started, but it's gonna fade away. So what I'm gonna talk to you guys about tonight is very small little changes that feel almost too hard to fail. Okay. All right. So let me give you guys one little thing, okay? One of my clients was wanting to stop drinking so much wine. That was her thing. Every time she walked through the door, She was ready to have a glass of wine. So what do you think are some environmental changes that kept her trapped into drinking so much wine? And I'll tell you, okay, when she walked through the door, she had her wine glasses, and also her bottle of wine sitting on the counter, just greeting her, waiting for her to walk through the doors. So that right there is cue number one. Put the wine bottle and the wine glasses away behind the cabinets, okay? And it sounds easy. It sounds like it's something that's not going to work, and it's not going to work for everybody immediately. However, if you're walking through the door at home from a long, stressful day, you may not even be thinking about wine until you see it. Because have you ever, been sitting around chilling and somebody said, "Hey, I'm going to grab something to eat. Do you want something?" And instantly you got hungry. You weren't even thinking about food until somebody said, "I'm going to such and such place," and then asked you, "Did you want something?" And then your stomach was like, "Yeah, I want something." That's the same thing with the visual cues that we have set up in our homes. So if you need to put the wine glasses away, if you need to put the chips away in the cupboard, if you need to put fruit out on your counter like grandma used to do, then those are the visual cues that will actually help you toward your goals. Okay. Here's another example. It's called habit stacking. This is something that James Clear talks about in his book, Atomic Habits. He wanted to floss more, right? Because most people, including myself, I have my toothbrush on the counter, but I have my floss in the drawer. So the easy way to floss more is to put your floss right next to your toothbrush in a cute little bowl, and it's more visible. That's gonna make you be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and floss real quick. And then we do it, and then it becomes habitual because we realize flossing may take us an extra 20 to 30 seconds. Really nothing at all, right? So, how hard is that? Okay. So, what's some other visual cues that you think get you guys in trouble? Somebody said, in between meetings, I get really stressed out and I have a candy drawer. Okay. All right. So, here's something that you can do for that. Um, I know some experts will say, well, don't buy the snacks, and then if you don't buy the snacks, you don't have access to it. I've been in that situation myself before, and that didn't work for me until later on, because if I didn't buy it, I would get so frustrated and so angry and so agitated that the stress that my body was going through, it actually caused more harm than not buying those snacks already. So buy the snacks. That's fine. Keep the drawer. That's fine. But just make this one change for yourself, okay? If you feel the need to reach toward that drawer, I want you to just pause. Just pause for 1 second and say, "This is a pleasure." And I want you to say it out loud. Pause. What a pleasure. Literally say that, okay? Your body hears certain things, and any kind of interruption, instead of just automatically reaching for something, is so beneficial for your body. So if you're going through a stressful moment and you want to reach for that candy drawer, pause. What a pleasure. This is something that I learned in Kabbalah, and it's been a game changer for not only me, but so many of my clients. Okay, so step number one: pause. What a pleasure. Then I want you to take 3 cycles of alkalizing breaths. Okay, if you're new to my channel, let's go ahead and take one together right now. Okay, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna sit up straight. You're going to close your eyes if it's safe, of course, if you're not driving while you're listening. And then you're going to inhale through your nose for a 4-second count. So take 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it up top, hold your breath for a 3-second count. And then you're going to exhale through your mouth for a 6-second count or longer. Okay? So let's do that together. And I'm going to come back to your question and your comments, okay? So let's we pause with a pleasure, and then we're going to take an alkalizing breath. So do this with me. Close your eyes, and I'm going to count while you inhale through your nose. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3. Exhale through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going if you can. 8, 9, 10. Okay? Now, you want to do that alkalizing breaths 3 cycles in a row, and you want to spread those out at a time, at a specific time throughout the day, every single day. And what that does is it trains your nervous system to stay relaxed and calm no matter what happens. Okay? When life starts to life and you've been training your nervous system to just relax, that helps you stop the auto reaching and the autopilot of getting food. If you have a thought, oh, I want a Snickers, and then boom, you go for it, we're going to pause that just for a minute before we go for that Snickers. And then step number 3, after that, after you pause with a pleasure, do the alkalizing breaths, then you're going to talk to the creator for 5-10 minutes. Okay? If it lasts longer, that's even better. But at least 5 to 10 minutes, talk to the creator out loud, whatever it is that's on your mind, whatever it is that made you stress out, whatever it is that, whatever comes to your mind, talk to them out loud. Okay? All right. If stealing something, my grandma will be mad, and I will say, go take that back now. Time to be a trigger too, I have found. Yes, time is definitely a trigger for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 6 to 8. Okay? So do you guys have those steps in order? So what's the first one? Yes, pause with a pleasure. Absolutely. Just stressful moment. This is a pleasure because this is an opportunity that I get to practice calming my nervous system so I can stop or begin to stop just reacting. Having a reactive mindset and a reactive body, like being ready to curse someone out, that was me years ago. Okay? What does that do? What does that solve? You may think it makes you feel better in the moment, but if you have any kind of conscious, you think about that moment a little bit later on. Now, whether you're still happy about that moment, that's none of my business. That's up for debate. But you still think about that moment. You may be still thinking about something that you did that you regret, and you did it years ago. So these are the steps that you take to let those things go. These are the steps that you take to help you stop auto reaching. Okay? Was that helpful for you guys? All right, good. All right, I see a lot of hearts going up. Okay. Let me give you another example of how to stop auto reaching. This was one of my clients, Chris. We'll just call him Chris, okay? It's not his real name. But he came to me and he wanted to stop, fried food. He wanted to cut out sugar. He wanted to stop eating so much meat. And it was a fourth thing. I can't remember. It was something around health. But yeah, it was so many different things that he wanted to just stop all at once. And I was like, okay, Chris, I can help you with those things. But before I take away anything, because those are foods that you love, and how many of us have taken away foods that we love and felt miserable, right? So Chris, easily 500 pounds or so, maybe 5'10", 5'11". And so I was like, that's just not the direction that I want you to go right now. I don't want you to think about taking away things that you actually enjoy. Instead, I'm going to add something to you. And he was like, Doc, no, we mean add stuff. I'm trying to lose this weight. I'm trying to lose, this passion for food. And I'm like, I get it. I understand. But before we take anything away, we need to add more of the so called good. And when I say so called, because I don't like to call things good or bad, but add more fruits and vegetables to your plate before you take away the fried foods, before you take away the meat, before you take away the cakes and the candies and the cookies. Let's add more fruits and vegetables, because really what's happening with our cravings, if you crave chips, candy, cookies, soda, whatever, your body is actually asking you for vitamins and minerals. That's all that is. If you have a craving, your body is simply asking for more minerals and vitamins. And where do we get that from? Number one, the best place to get it is from sea moss. If you know a sea moss distributor and you actually know them and trust them, start taking your sea moss regularly, okay? And I mean every day. If you don't know anyone that you trust, where you actually know the diver, you can go to my website and we'll supply the sea moss for you. But wherever you get it from, make sure they are a trustworthy source. I saw some, and I'm starting to see them in grocery stores now. And that's just a red flag, the fact that they're in a grocery store, because grocery stores are not in business to lose profit, right? And neither am I. But I don't sell sea moss to where it's already made in a jar, hoping to sell it to you. But in a grocery store, it's already made. So I picked it up, I looked at the expiration date, and it didn't expire for 6 or 7 months later. That is not real sea moss. Real, true, authentic sea moss will last 3 weeks, maybe 4 at the most. Another red flag is if you see someone selling sea moss and it comes in these cute little colors because they've added fruit. That's another red flag. How long does fruit last? When you cut open a apple or a banana or whatever, do you start to see it browning? Well, if you live in the US, it doesn't brown as quickly as it used to. It should. But you get my point, right? You bite into a raspberry or blueberry, it starts to go bad. So if you're putting fruit in sea moss that lasts for several weeks, that ain't the kind of sea moss that you want in your body, okay? So those are red flags you should look for if you're considering buying sea moss from someone online or whatever. If they're selling any kind of colorful, fruity sea moss, I probably wouldn't trust it, to be honest with you. Now, if you buy the sea moss raw, that's the best way. So you can actually look at the strands and see if it's real or authentic. I have pictures on my website to where you can see what's real, what's fake, so you can compare. Um, but you can also, so it's best to buy it raw so you can see it. And you can also put fruit in it yourself once you make it. But of course, you have to eat it within that day, or maybe 24 to 48 hours at the most, not weeks at all. Okay, that's just not okay. So, anyway, when you're craving food, your body is asking for minerals, and you can get 92 of the 102 minerals out of that sea moss. Okay, so that'll help you stop and curb the cravings for sodium. That's why you probably crave chips, like salty chips, popcorn, things of that nature. When you're craving chocolate and things of sweet nature, that means your body is deprived of magnesium and phosphorus and calcium. You don't get any of those things from an animal. You can get them all strictly from plants, okay? So try to add sea moss to your regimen. The next thing to do if you're craving a lot of foods is, again, add more fruits and vegetables to your plate. So green leafy vegetables, pretty much any kind of vegetable except potatoes, that actually acts like a glue inside of your body. But anytime you can add more fruits and vegetables to your plate, do that before you take away the things that you actually enjoy. Okay? Great to see content like this. I've subbed and hope to see you online more often. Oh, thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. So Seeing comments like that actually encourages me to do more and go on live more. Okay. All right. If trees could talk, what would they say? I don't know. What would they say? You tell me. Yes, CMOS. So you can get the CMOS from Dr.denise.thinks.com. DRDENISE thinks.com. I appreciate that question. I'm sorry I didn't say that before. All right. What are your thoughts on keto and mental health? Kelly, that is a great question. Kelly Wood, rough 4647. To be honest, anything that becomes really popular in mainstream, I pretty much shy away from because usually it is a marketing ploy. Not everything, of course, but usually it is. But the little bit that I've researched from it, and take this with a grain of salt, is that it's somewhat of a real thing, mostly around eating in seasons. And I don't mean eating in seasons like summer, winter, spring, fall, not that kind of season, but it's more of the season of your internal body, your own personal metabolism, how fast your metabolic rate goes and how fast it is. So if you are a person that has trouble with losing weight easily, that means your body is currently in the winter season. So think of it as a way of how bears hibernate and get ready for the winter season because they're storing a lot of fat on purpose because they're hibernating and not going to eat for months. An individual can actually have a similar metabolic rate to where they store fat, but obviously we're continuing to eat, so we're storing more and more fat on our bodies. So keto is meant to eat in seasons and be able to switch your metabolism so you can burn it off easily. The problem with most people, especially in the US, we stay in the winter season and we don't give our bodies the breaks that it needs to burn off and make that switch to burn off the fat. So, with whatever is in mainstream about keto, it has just taken on a whole nother level that's just not beneficial. Like I see people in the stores all the time, it's like, oh, these are keto cookies, so these are probably healthy for me. Let me get these. And they got like 5 boxes of it. It's like, no, that's not the way that this is supposed to go. So that's what I mean about, the whole marketing part of it just ends up taking over and people don't get the benefit that they should out of something. Let me turn this light on. All right, sorry about that. I've been in the dark for a while. Hopefully, you guys can see me better now. That's a weird, I don't know. So anyway, I hope that helps. Hello, Cordelius. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I know I am. But Kelly, that was a good question. I appreciate you asking me about keto. Um, yes. All right. Somebody on IG is asking me about the website. Yes, the website again to I guess get the CMOS is that what you're asking for? Dr.denise.thinks.com. Dr. Denise, Denise. Let me type that. DeniseThinks.com. And hopefully somebody on YouTube, maybe you can type it up. DrDeniseThinks.com. All right. Yeah, so if you're craving foods, before you start taking away the favorite foods that you love, add more fruits and vegetables and add more minerals to your lipids. I don't like to say diets, but to your lipids. You can also do magnesium baths. Magnesium baths. So the Epsom salt. But be sure if you're getting it from a regular store, it is 100% magnesium and not all this extra stuff, fragrances and perfumes and stuff like that that your body does not need. We get enough toxins from, just walking outside. So you don't need additional toxins in your bath when you're trying to detox from, all these things, right? So make sure that it's 100% magnesium if you take a bath or magnesium sprays. or um, I don't, I really try to stay away from external things. If I can't eat it purely, I really don't want to put it on my body. But those are ways to do it as well. Um, yeah. Do I have any other? Well, see, and that's the thing. So someone is asking about, do I have any other insights and uh, things to try to help them with their cravings. That's one of the problems that I see, is that we try to do so much all at one time. I've given you guys probably 6 things to do now. So try to do like one of those things the rest of this week. Just try to do one at a time. And then if you do one thing, if you make one improvement once a week, by this time next year, you'll be 52% better. 52% better, right? Okay, I see the hearts going. Good. Yes. Isn't that like, we just got to dial things back and stop trying to do so much all at one time. Okay. And I understand I do have an accelerated program that I offer inside of my school that helps you with, kind of get to your health goals quicker. But if you're starting from zero, I don't even want you to do my program. I want you to actually do some of the things the content that I give for free, see how that's changing for you. And if you see some of those improvements, then I would love for you to join my program. But until then, if you can't do little simple things, then you're looking for a pill to take. And that's just not what I provide. Okay. Bald is beautiful. Thank you. But I'm not completely bald. It just looks like it with this light on. But I do shave it down even closer than this a lot of times because I just love, I just love being shaved. Is dopamine detox a real thing, especially for motivation? Let me read that again while I take a sip. Dopamine detox. I never heard of that. I know what dopamine is. I know what a detox is, but I've never heard them two together. A dopamine detox. So, dopamine is the feel good chemical. So, I'm not sure why anyone would want to detox from something that the body actually loves and enjoys, especially for motivation. So, yeah, maybe you're talking about the cortisol detox. That's the stressful hormone. But dopamine is actually the feel good chemical that encourages us to do things more often. So, yeah, but so let me, I'm not sure if I'm answering this correctly, but um, when you're looking to increase a goal and do something more often, let's just say you hate working out. If you don't like working out, I actually don't advise people to work out, especially when they don't have their food right, because the food is actually 80% of how you look and feel. Exercise is 20%. So let's dial this back to, let's just say you hate cooking. Let's look at why you hate cooking. Is it the time? Is it because you just have no idea what flavors match? Is it because the cookware that you have, which I'm partially in my kitchen, is it because the cookware that you have, you don't love it? There could be multiple reasons why you don't like to cook, and usually because you're not good at it. We usually don't like to do things that we're not good at. So we got to figure out a way to get you in the kitchen, for one, because if you're relying on food outside of yourself, from restaurants, from friends, family, hopefully that's a little bit better if they're actually cooking it. But we got to figure out a way that's going to get you to be in the kitchen so you can be in control of what's going in your body. Okay. You'll be amazed at how much junk is in stuff from restaurants. Okay. Do you realize that sugar is in everything? Even in things that are not sweet, sugar is in it. And of course, sugar is more addictive than cocaine. So if sugar is in everything, and it's more addictive than cocaine, do you think that's going to contribute very easily to your weight gain? Of course it is. Absolutely. So, not everybody is here that's looking to lose weight, but usually that's more of the issue. So, if you're looking to control more of your weight, then you need to control your ingredients and get more in the kitchen. There are so many cookbooks. There's so many people that go live that cook on camera. There's so many different things you can do. There's also fun little dates that you can do, like local places that you can look up where they do cooking live demonstrations there in person. So we just got to figure out what your personality type is and make it fun for you. You can make anything fun for you. Okay. I'm personally, I don't really like to do things that are around finances and numbers. I get intimidated by it. But because I want to grow my finances and my numbers, guess what? I'm going to figure out how to make it fun for me. And one of the things that I did to make it fun for me, I connected my finances with food. And what do I mean by that? I started making sure I budgeted every single penny on what I spend around food. And it actually became a game to where it was fun. So I was like, man, I'm curious if you guys are, do you guys have any idea how much you spend on food per month? Anybody? When I ask people that, they usually lowball it. And they, once I give them the challenge to track their numbers for 14 days, they usually spend 3 times as much as they thought. So if I helped you find $1,000 today, what would you do with that $1,000? Would you gift it to me? I would definitely take it. I would love that. But no, know your numbers. How much do you spend on food per month? 200 plus takeaways. 200 per month or per week? 200 plus takeaways. If it's only $200 a month, that's not a lot at all. Like, I'm talking about all of your food. So takeout, groceries, snacks, at the vending machine, all of it. How much money total in total food do you think you spend per month? Somebody said 400. Okay. If you do, that's really good, because even me, the penny pincher, and I eat a lot. I eat a lot, but I cook probably 90% of my food. So I spend about 450 every now and then, 500 a month. And I'm very tight with my money. Okay. So 200 a month, Kelly, that's awesome. And you're positive about that, right? You're sure? You like keep track with it every week or every month? On Saturday mornings, I go through my online account and I go through it line by line to figure out where my money is going. And of course, the category is food, whether it's takeout, groceries, whatever. I don't do vending machines anymore, but wherever I'm spending money, I'm calculating it. So if you're not sure yourself, okay, somebody said $800. Okay, that's more realistic. I have a client that actually spent, and I did a video on this, $720 just on snacks. $720 just on snacks alone. And she's a CPA, so she's very meticulous about knowing where her money goes. And when she told me, because she had an overeating problem, and she wanted to lose weight. And so I asked her, I was like, how much do you spend on food? And so when that category right there jumped out at me, I was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. So similar to the story, what I helped Chris with his food, I made sure she got CMOS, started taking it consistently, and then also loaded up her plate with fruits and vegetables. And I was like, if you want to eat, start with that first. And then whatever else you want to have after that, then go ahead and go for those chips. And guess what happens? When you load your body with fruits and vegetables, minerals and vitamins, which is what the body is really asking for, the tongue is asking for the sweet stuff, but the body is asking for the good stuff, right? So if you're still craving after you've had a huge plate of fruits and vegetables, go for it. And then it got less and less and less and less and less. And then I had her pause and was like, okay, how much of the chips do you really, really want? Because she had a stressful job, especially around this time of year. Everybody's doing their taxes, right? So I get it. And a lot of times we are reaching toward foods because we're stressed out. And usually chips is one of the biggest things that people want. So as we got less and less and less, I started having her pause a little bit more. And I was like, okay, I want you to now ask yourself, do I really want these chips? And if the answer is yes, go have the chips. But if you're just automatically going towards something that you're used to doing, you're not even giving your chance an opportunity or your body an opportunity to say no. Your body actually may say no. Just like me. 10 years ago, I used to automatically reach for Snickers and Hershey bars. Like 2 or 3 of them every time I went to the store, dollar store, didn't matter. My basket was full of candy bars. And then in one moment, I was about to reach for it and put it on the conveyor belt. And I was like, Denise, do you really want this candy bar? Self said no. Right? Self said no. I actually asked myself, do I want this? And I didn't even want it. And that was the last time, the absolutely last time, 10 years ago, that I'd ever bought a candy bar. No, I'm lying. Ever bought a candy bar that wasn't vegan. Okay? I've bought a couple of those HU candy bars that's in like Whole Foods. I bought like maybe a total of 5 of those. They're vegan, they're plant-based, which I'm now plant-based. I don't preach for everyone to be plant-based, so don't think I have any kind of agenda. I don't. I actually don't believe anymore that every single person needs to be plant-based. So don't worry about that. That's just my choice. And so with those candy bars, they're expensive as hell. They're $6 a bar. So I was like looking at the ingredients. I'm like, I can make this myself. And I went to Hobby Lobby, and they've got these cute little candy bar molds, and I started making them myself. You know how much those cost me? Like 75 cents for a huge candy bar made at home. And they taste better. And they're much cleaner ingredients. Very simple. Like cacao, maybe a dash of agave, and then maybe I'll chop up some walnuts or some quinoa, some raw quinoa to give it that crunch. That's it. Yes, that is it. 2 to 3 ingredients, that's it. And it's cheap as hell. And it doesn't take long at all. So if you are the worst cook, you can make this. I'm sorry, coconut oil. Coconut oil. If you guys join me in my Skool, I will give you guys the ingredients, the full recipe. But it literally takes 10 minutes, if that. Okay? But it was cacao. Because I haven't made this in so long, because I haven't craved chocolate in months. Because I take my sea moss. Okay? I'm telling you guys this works. But cacao, coconut oil, a dash of agave, and then depending on the extra little stuff, like I said, if I want raw quinoa to make it a little crunch, or walnuts. I've never done chocolate chips, but obviously that works. So whatever kind of toppings you want to make your own candy bar. I'm from Ireland. Wow. Though it's probably cheaper. Hopefully so. Usually things outside of the US is a whole lot cheaper. So kudos to you. I want to get the heck up out of here. So I may come to Ireland. All right. But yeah, $200 a month on groceries, but $100 a week on takeaways. Okay. So $400 a month on takeouts or takeaways. I like how you say that. And $200 a month on groceries. All right, we gotta flip that. So we wanna flip it to where it's $200 a month on takeout, and then $100 a week, or 100 or no. We want to flip it, okay? We want you cooking more at home. So is there something that's blocking you from enjoying cooking more, or you don't like it, or maybe you guys have healthier restaurants than we do have here in the US? You probably, I'm sure you do. I'm sure everything is healthier outside of the US. I'm telling you. Someone says I can't stand cooking. All right. So that's the mentality that I want you to switch as well. Okay. Just say to yourself, even if you're lying to yourself, say, I love this. This is a joy. This is amazing. Okay. Because it's not going to do you any good to keep saying and doing something. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. If you're in your kitchen and you're massaging kale and you're saying, I hate this, think about the energy, the negative energy that you're putting into the good foods that is supposed to love you. Do you think it's going to keep loving you? It's not. Energy is real, you guys, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but uh, energy is real. Let me say this. Have you ever walked into a room and you felt like people were talking about you, or people were talking negative about something, right? Exactly. You ever felt that? That's energy. Okay. So if you're thinking or even saying out loud while you're cooking and you're like, I hate this, that food is not going to serve you. It's going to feel your energy as well. Okay. I cook more for my grandfather, but less for myself. What? So you can't eat the food that you cook for your grandfather? Do y'all not eat the same foods, or um, are you making certain foods for him because of digestive issues, because he's older? Thing could be multiple reasons, but you should be able to cook foods for the both of you guys, or I don't know. But yeah, we gotta take care of ourselves, because we don't. I don't want to get to a space to where someone is taking care of me just because I'm 90 years old or I'm 110. We should be able to do those things for ourselves until we're gone from this earth. There's no such thing as, oh, because you're old, you need a cane or a wheelchair or all these things. And I'm not trying to offend anybody that may be in that position now, but those are the facts. Have you ever seen a little old woman that was able to do yoga and put her leg behind her neck? That's how I want to live. Okay. And to get to that space, it starts now. He has gout and diabetes. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. I've had plenty of clients that have both of those, that have gone through those things. I've got a herbalist that I work with. So if you want to reverse any of those issues, then hopefully you can join my school. It's a 7-day free trial. That way I can, give you all the information that you need to know, and, see if it can help your grandfather. Your brother has you on a new diet, though, so I'm happy out. Wait, my bro has me on a new diet, though, so I'm happy. You said out. I think it may be a typo somewhere. But you guys probably know, if you joined me before, how I feel about diets. Diets are temporary. Diets are motivation based. I just teach lifestyle. Okay. There's no such thing as a diet for me. It's just lifestyle. This is what I do. I eat my greens, I eat my veggies, and I love them. And there was once upon a time where I was eating everything on the pig, from the Rudy to the Tootie. Like, I was eating pig feet and chitlins and bacon and sausage and all these things every single day. But now I have zero desire for those kind of foods. There's nothing special about me except I took the time to invest in myself, to where I was like, all right, we got to figure this out. Okay. It's Iris to say happy out. Oh, my bad. All right. So let me read that again. My brother has me on a new diet, though, so I'm happy out. Okay. All right. Well, if you want to help, if you want help retraining your brain, again, join my, thank you. I guess I said it right. Join my Skool. It's a 7-day free trial. So what do you have to lose? After that 7 days is up, it's only $5 a month. Not a whole lot. So I only put that price on there because I want people to actually pay attention. Because I started the Skool for free, and a lot of people joined, but they're just sitting there and not taking action. So I was like, okay, if I put a little bit of price tag on it, maybe people will actually pay attention and take action. And that's what I want. I don't want numbers in there. I think I have like around 130 or 40 people in there. And if I got to 500 people and no one's doing anything, that doesn't do anything for me. I want people taking action. Okay. So hopefully you guys will join me. Yes, definitely worth it for sure. And like I said, if you don't like what you see within 7 days, you're not losing anything because there's no charge for it. But if you like what you see, and I'm going to give you value for sure. Like I said, I can help you with your grandfather with gout, diabetes. We everything from A to Z. My team has helped people reverse naturally from. Okay, so it's definitely going to be worth the time. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here because I've got to do some more work offline. I'll be here tomorrow for Think Thursdays at 3 Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. I have no idea what time it is for it in Ireland, but you can adjust and understand what time that would be. And hopefully I'll see you back there and answer your other health questions, okay? All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.